Okay, stage 20. This will get you your 20th Carnival stage clear and also another totem for a pretty fun dungeon spell called Doom. Very useful in dungeons on certain kinds of bosses. So for this act, or this 3-act stage, we are going to be saving our final sting for the last one because we can kill this boss with a buff sting from full health. But what we're going to do is we're going to be bringing some interesting buttons here. I'm actually recommending a bristled dot, the standard whistle tingle trident, and to bring Fire Angon. Why am I bringing Fire Angon? Wonder why I did that. We'll find out. I will trust past me. And I'm going to remove the things I'm not using here. I'm not using this. I'm not using this. Now, Fire Angon, I do enjoy. It's a little bit like Sonic Boom. It has the same cast time. It has a little bit less damage, but it does have some splash damage. Because it has this 4-yalm radius. This time we're bringing Diamondback. Diamondback always has a spot on my bar. And we're bringing our dots. And we're bringing Fish, it looks like. Fish is on the bar already. So we've got our standard good stuff. Let's go. And so the recommendation for Act 1 is to open with putting your dots on the boss, doing your trident combo, and then spamming until there's a long cast of Snort. At the end of the cast bar, we want to Diamondback to endure multiple casts of Fireball. Alright, so let's do Bristled Dots. Yes, we didn't even have a Diamondback. Act 2. Open with your Bristled Song of Torment, or Breath of Magic, and then spam the spell. Dodge AoEs, interrupt the cast bar, otherwise this is pretty... Oh, this is why I'm bringing Fire Angon, because he is magic, he's weak to fire. So, we're gonna do this. This is a learnable spell. Dodge AoEs. Oh yeah, we don't want to get turned into some Hildebrand stuff right here. Just keep spamming. Weasel over the ground. This guy's going down pretty fast. We're not going to let that happen. So now, fully buff final sting from full health. Let's go. So we whistle before the pull. Moon flute. Yeah, that's a little sad. Trouble with tentacles. This is the achievement. So with this particular approach, the boss just dies, and you get an achievement. So there you go. And that is your 20th stage. So this means you can go over to the Blue Mage NPC, who's got all their totems. And you will get Doom, which is this one here. A life-ending technique. Okay, so it's number 42. Doom is cool. It is very similar to what you encounter in duties. Doom is a 15-second debuff, and at the end of the debuff, the afflicted monster dies. And there's, monsters can't Asuna. It's not like they survive it if they go back to full health like other Dooms. Most monsters don't heal anyway. This is primarily useful for certain bosses, because some bosses are vulnerable to flat damage death. And if we go and sort our book by flat damage death spells, the thing to know about these is Missile and is really good for these sorts of dungeon bosses where they don't have things like invulnerable phases or they off stage. Doom is going to be better for bosses that do have invuln phases or off stage. Things like the first boss of Zelphatal, that goes up in a hot air balloon. Things like the first boss of Neverreap, where the bird disappears into some mist and you have to go like hunt it down. Just as soon as you go into the boss arena, just have everybody spam Doom on it and just wait it out. Don't deal any damage to it. Whereas with Missile is really strong, and one of the strengths of Missile is if two of them land in the same server tick, they both do the same amount of damage. So if the boss is at 100% health, they're both going to do 50% of the boss's health. If it's at less, then they both do 50% of the remaining health. And the downside of this in bosses that have off-staging or untargetable mechanics is if only one missile hits and it pushes the boss into one of those phases, then you have to do that phase. Whereas Doom is a little more reliable just because it will allow you to just wait it out. Level 5 Death is also really good for those kinds of bosses. I like Doom because it is spammable, everybody can bring it, and it doesn't have the really long cooldown that level 5 Death has. So I prefer level 5 Death for pulls, although it can be really nice for bosses. The turtle that you learn Diamond back from is vulnerable to flat damage effects and death effects, so I do like to use it there on the turtle over Doom, because turtle does more mechanics if you let it live. But if level 5 Death happens to whiff on the turtle, then I will absolutely put Doom on it. The other spells that do this kind of damage, well, this always hits, but it has a really long cast time. This always hits, but it has variable amounts that it does. So Dimensional Shift and Launcher I don't really like for those kinds of bosses. But these other spells across the top here have different proc rates. And I would say how it feels, I would say Missile is about a 50% chance to hit, but always remember you can't spell Missile without miss. Tailscrew feels like it has about a 10% chance to hit. Doom feels like it's got like a 1 in 6 chance to hit. And level 5 Death, I think people have said, they claim that it has a 95% chance to proc, which makes it very strong for pulls, but it does roll for each monster in the pull. So if you have a pull with like 10 monsters in it, you might expect one on average, you might survive. Although sometimes you do a pull and like only one monster dies, and you're just gonna, oh gosh, why? Level 5 Death sure didn't do well today. But anytime you do a pull on Blue Mage in a dungeon and there's a bunch of stragglers, Missile is the thing to usually like take down any single tint monster if there's only one left. Just have everybody Missile it. But anyway, that's Doom. It's super fun. Lots of places to use it. In dungeons, not so much in trials and raids. It's very rare for trials and raids monsters to have vulnerability to it. Not unheard of. It does exist, but it's very uncommon. Anyway, that's 20 stages.